in this lesson, we're going to talk about parallel lines and triangle angle sums. So first, we have to know what the sum of a triangle is. Now, this is a little activity you could do if you want. You could get a triangle and cut it up. If you put them all together, you will get a straight line. And as we all know, straight lines are 180 degrees, right? They form a linear pair, or in this case, supplementary angles, 180 degrees. So it looks like triangles equal 180. Now let's prove it mathematically real quickly. So the way we prove a triangle equals 180 is very simple. We're just going to draw parallel lines here. So that's what they do here, right? They draw a parallel line on top and on bottom. And like, how does that make it equal 180? Like this, right? We know all this, right, is going to be 180. It's a straight line. So we know all that is 180. But we also know, because of the last couple lessons, that if you have parallel lines, we have things like alternate interior, right? So angle 4 is the same thing as angle 1. Those are congruent. And on this side, we have alternate interior also. Angle 5 is congruent to angle 2. So this guy is the same thing as angle 2. And angle 3 stays where it is. So we get the sum of angle 1, 2, and 3 is 180. So that's why. So all you have to take away from that is, if you add up a triangle, it equals 180. So the sum of a triangle is always 180, just like a straight line. But that's why. So let's do a couple examples. So now we know, right? The sum of a triangle is always 180. So on this first example here, I want to find out what x is. Oh, I know it's a triangle. Triangles always equal 180. So all we have to do is add them all up. X plus 43 plus 63 equals 180. Do a little math, right? So I'm going to add these two up. So x plus 43 plus 63 is 106 equals 180. And then we're going to subtract the 106 from both sides. And x is equal to 74. Right, so that's the key thing here. The key thing is the triangle always equals 180. Okay, so here, same concept, but now it is a problem. Like there's more variables, I should say. So that angle is 3x plus this angle, x plus 7, plus this angle, x plus 8, equals 180. So unless we can do the math on this. Remember, first you always want to add things on the same side. So 3x plus x is 5x. Then we can add up the constant. 7 plus 8 is 15, equals 180. Now we just got to do the math. Minus 15 from both sides. So 5x is equal to 165 divided by 5. X is equal to, what's that, 33? So x is 33. But actually, look again, find the measure of each angle. That's not what the question was. The question was not what x is, what's the measure of each angle. So if they ask that, you just got to go back and substitute it in. So like angle C here is going to be 33 plus 8, which would be 41. Angle A, 33 plus 7, 40. And then angle B, 3 times 33, which would be 99. All right, so if they say find the measure of each angle, don't forget to go back and substitute it in. So my answers would be 40, 41, and 99. Okay, let's do a couple more. Find the measure of x and y. Okay, so tell right here that that's 32. So I can find x pretty easily as it's a triangle. So I'm going to do x plus 32 plus 78 equals 180. So add those together. X plus 110 equals 180 minus 110. X is equal to 70. Now you might be going, okay, now how do I figure out what y is? Well, first I got to figure out what this guy is. The way I'm going to do that is actually by looking at the big triangle. Because that big triangle, I'm just going to draw like this, is 57. 70. This is cut in half, and that's 32. And I don't know what this is. I'll make it a W. If I can figure out what that W is, then I can use that to figure out what my Y is. And then again, this is a giant triangle. So a giant triangle has the exact same rules. This equals 180. So 57 plus 70 plus 32 plus W equals 180. Like that. Do the math real quick. That's 102. 102 plus 57 is 159. Plus W equals 180. Right, I just added up 70 and 32 is 102 plus 57, 159. Okay, good. Minus 159. I get W equals 21. I mean, I shouldn't underline it. That didn't ask me for W. I just put that in myself, right? So that's what this angle is right here, 21. And now I can use that to figure out what y is, because we have a tiny triangle here. And you know what the tiny triangle equals? Same thing as every other triangle, 180. So 57 plus y plus 21 equals 180. Right? It doesn't matter how big or small the triangle is, it's always gonna be 180. This triangle is 180, this triangle is 180, the whole big triangle is 180. Do a little bit of math. 57 plus 21 is 78. So y plus 78 equals 180 minus 78 from both sides. Y equals 102. So there's my y, there's my x. That's what they wanted. They didn't care about w I made up. This one right here, solve for x and y. Well, first, I can solve for x right here real quickly. That's 180. So I'm just going to do this. 180 minus 57 minus 59. It's a little shortcut, right? That's 116. So that's going to be, this will save some time. That's going to be 64. Right? 180 minus those two gets me 64. So that's what this is. And once I have x, how do I find out what y is? Well, we have vertical angles, right there. Right, let me erase some of this. Hopefully you can see that these are vertical angles, right? They form an x, they're going right across from each other. So if this is 64, this must be 64 also. And now we have the triangle on this side. Remember, all triangles add up to 180. So I'm gonna do y plus 64 plus 42 equals 180. Do a little math. Y plus 106 equals 180 minus 106. Y is equal to 74. So that's the rule there, right? So this one's like a little more difficult. You had to do 180 like 3 times. This one you had to remember vertical angles. So this one's tougher ones. Okay, exterior angle theorem. The sum of exterior angles of a triangle is equal to the sum of the measures of 2 remote interior angles. So let's talk about what that means. So they're just saying if you have a triangle like this, and you have this exterior angle, that's what that one is. This is exterior. Let's call that W. It's going to be equal to the ones that are not attached to it. So it's going to be equal to these two guys put together. So let's say A and B. So W equals A plus B. That's what the triangle exterior angle theorem says, right? So the two angles that are not like connected to that angle, this exterior angle here, it's equal to those two together. So this angle equals these two put together. The reason why? Well, the triangle is 180, right? So this angle here is going to be 180 minus these two. Well, what about a straight line? A straight line is also 180. So if you go 180 and minus this angle, you're going to get that exterior angle. That's what makes them the same. That's why it works. So here, right, if I want x, it's just, I know it's this guy plus this guy. So x is equal to 67 plus 35. So x is equal to 112, like that. Again, right, how would I find this one if I didn't give you that? It would be 180 minus these two. And then once you have this, how would you find this one? 180 minus this guy. That's why they're the same. This will be the same concept, right? I have this angle, so that means it's equal to the ones that it's not touching. So 105 equals 2x minus 15 plus the other one, 3x. And now it's obviously using normal mathematics, right? Add up like terms, 5x minus 15 is equal to 105. Then we would add 15 to both sides. So you get 5x equals 120. Then you divide by 5. And you get x equals, what is that? 24. There you go. Okay. Corollary to the triangle angle sum theorem. The acute angles of a right triangle are complementary, which means they have to 90. So all this means is this. Let's say we put like a W here and a Y here, right? The way you would solve in this triangle is this. You do W plus Y plus 90 equals 180, right? No matter what these two things are, that's how you would solve it. This plus 90 equals 180. And the next thing you do is you subtract the 90 from both sides, right? So you get W plus Y equals 90. And that's all this guy is saying is skip that step. Just go straight to there. If you see that this is a 90 here, then you just go W plus Y equals 90. That's all it's saying. It's just saying, oh, if it happens to be in right angle, you could skip the step right there and just go, these two must equal 90. So that's how we're going to solve this one, our last one, right? Oh, they want me to solve for x. This is the right angle, so I'm just going to go, okay. These two must be, if I add them up, they must add up to 90. I don't have to go I don't have to go this guy plus 90 equals 180. I can just go this guy plus this guy must equal 90 because there's only 90 degrees left in this triangle. That took up 90 of them. And then from here, just do the math. Add up the like terms, 5x. These two are both negative, so you add them up. So you get negative 10 equals 90. Then we're going to add 10 to both sides. So I get 5x equals 100, and divide that by 5. And you get x equals 20. And that's my answer. And that's the lesson.